Hi everyone, my name is Hussain. I am working as assistant professor at University of Hussain, Kashmir, Pakistan. I am very thankful to BayesiaLab, India representative, for giving me this opportunity to present my work. Talk title is the Bayesian dynamic profiling in optimization of importance strength energy from gray level co-occurrence metric features for empirical analysis of brain MRI. And this paper is recently published in Scientific Reports in 2022. The plan of my presentation is the introduction, related works, methodology, results and discussions, feature scope, conclusion, and references. So the main topic basically is the brain tumor. The accurate classification of the brain tumor subtypes is important for prognosis, treatment, and monitoring and planning. There are several factors like the type and location and texture properties of the brain tumors, which categorize it into different types like meningioma, glioma, acoustic neuma, and pituitary, etc. So the clinical rate of incidence of meningioma and pituitary and glioma are 15%, 45% respectively. And the patient survival can also be predicted and diagnosed based on the tumor types through which it can be decided the relevant treatment choice. So in order to properly do it for planning and monitoring purpose, the brain tumor and tumor grading is highly important. The researchers are developing different tools for the proper detections capabilities of the brain tumor subtypes. So in the recent past, basically researchers use the classification methods, but in this case, utilize the Bayesian inference approach for further empirical analysis of the brain tumor. Similarly, the tumor cannot be cured if it emerges in the last stage of treatment. So initial discovery of the brain tumor is fundamental responsibility to protect the life of the persons. So tumor can also be malignant and benign. In the recent statistics of 2022, there were these figures, total cases of the tumor, brain tumor, and about 700,000 deaths were projected in the United States. Related work, and usually the researchers utilize the machine learning techniques by computing the handcrafted features for the detection or predictions of the brain tumors. So first, I will like to discuss the traditional methods, approaches which researchers are utilizing, and then I will explain that how Bayesian inference approach will be further helpful for the proper diagnosis and prognosis of the brain tumor. In machine learning, usually we require the features, which are the characteristics, and it's really a tedious task to extract the relevant features. And these are utilizing different types of features like the textures, morphological, geometric, shape, EFTS, RICA, and sparse filter, Helvig texture features, etc. And a gray level co-occurrence matrix, and there are further extensions. So these are basically different types of features which have been computed for further training the machine learning algorithms and for the application of the predictions of any particular type of a problem. So in this study, we basically first computed the GLCM features and then utilized the Bayesian inference approach to further understand the relationships between the different types of GLCM-based features. Now, this study, we utilized the Bayesian networks. We computed the different types of causal relationships between the GLCM features by computing the mutual informations, Pearson correlations, and Hilbert, Lieber divergence, etc. We also computed the statistical independence by computing GCal test, p-value. We also find explanatory analysis of unsupervised networks, sensitive analysis, segment profile analysis, etc. So let's come toward the results. First, I would like to explain the results by utilizing the classification methods. Like these are the Fourier descriptive features. So these features were computed from the two types of brain tumor subtypes. And then we apply different machine learning algorithms like Bayesian trees, spore vector, machine Gaussian, radial-based function, and polynomial. And the performance was computed in terms of sensitivity, specificity, and other performance metrics. So in this case, the Bayesian tree yielded the highest accuracy, 86.08, and followed by SPM polynomial. And the area under the covered curve is 0.9529. And similarly, the other statistics are reflected here. So here is the graph which presents the area under the curve. Again, the highest AUC was obtained utilizing the Bayesian tree, which is 0.9529, followed by the other naive Bayes and SPM polynomial. Again, these are the texture features, and these were utilized just to classify the two types of brain tumors. And again, here the highest classification accuracy was yielded using the decision tree, which is 97.81%. And this is the raw curves. Again, here are the deep learning models which were utilized, like 101 was utilized to distinguish the three types of brain tumors. And again, the accuracy was yielded in this case 90.69%, the highest accuracy. So basically, now I would like to come towards the Bayesian inference approach. Like in this case, we first taken the brain tumor subtypes input signals, and then we extracted the features like in this case, the GLCM features. These are the gray level co-occurrence metric features like the contrast, correlation, cluster performance, shared dissimilarity, etc., etc. And after computing the features, we then rank these features, that which one feature is more important, by utilizing the entropy-based shrinking methods. Amongst these features, the energy features was the most important features. And then we kept these features as our target variables, and then utilized the Bayesian inference approach, and then computed different types of statistics like analysis, segment profile analysis, sensitivity analysis, energy optimization analysis, etc. And finally, we computed the network performance. As I told earlier, that in classical traditional machine learning methods, we compute the different types of features, then we train the algorithms, and we just do the classification task. But by utilizing the Bayesian inference networks, we first computed the features, like in this case, GLCM features, and then we ranked these features like this is the ranking. So the energy features has the highest ranking value, that is entropy value 3.069, followed by homogeneity and others. And the sum of variance has the lowest features. So in this case, our energy features among the all computed GLCM features has the highest ranking value. Then we kept this variables or this feature as our target variables. So keeping energy as a target variables, we computed the different types of relationships between the other features. Like here, you can see that these are the nodes, and these lines represent the relationships. So the border the line, the higher the value, represent the more stronger relationships. The weaker the line shows the weak relationships. So in this case, you can see that we could not only just to compute the features, and we also have the ability to understand the strength of relationships between the features. So in this case, you can see that these two features have the most higher value. Like in this case, this and this is 1.048. This is the most stronger relationship, followed by this type of relationship, and so on. Again, we computed this relationship using the mutual information and KL, and also utilizing the Pearson correlationship. The Pearson correlationship also compute the relationship, and also a positive and negative relationship. Like in this case, the red lines represent the negative relationship, and the other blue lines represent the positive relationships. So this is the similar statistics which is presented in the figures. We have parent-child relationships. Like in this case, we have a correlation, and with correlation 2, the highest relationship was observed, and followed by dissimilarity and homogeneity, and so on. So in this case, now you can see that you can observe the parent-child relationship. In each case, we have found the highly significant results. And we also computed the different types of like outgoing force, incoming force, and total force between different GLCM-based features. And finally, we can set our energy features as our target node, I told you earlier. And then we computed its different states like 0.273, 0.368, 0.471, less than 0.471, and greater than 0.471. These were the 4 states which were by the Bayesian algorithms. And this is the pivotity in the neighborhoods. So pivotity means that the highest values mean that state or variable is more important, followed by this state and this state. So again, we computed different statistics, and each one reflect the highly significant results. Another main detailed analysis we performed by using segment profile analysis. So in this case, we have these are the basic states. And basically, segment profile analysis utilize the probability analysis using the model to generate the probabilities for each variables in the segment. So in this case, basically, we created a radar chart, and there are basically different axes. And here, each represent a polygon. The higher greater the polygon reflects the more importance. So in this case, we performed a statistical analysis using the best in NSTS test. So for each extractor GLCM based features, so here you can see that this is the original overall. This represents the state less than or equal to 0.273. This represents the state less than or equal to 0.368. And similarly, the other slide will reflect the state this and this. So in this case, you can see each of the state and GLCM based features. These two types of tests which are reflected here, they show the significant results. It means that the features we have computed, the GLCM features, they have highly significant results with our energy target, that they are highly correlated with that. And so in the next slide, here we have the final states that this represents the state 471 and this represents the all. So this is basically the size of each polygon, basically represents the probability of the target variables of the corresponding segments. The larger the polygon, the higher the probability of the target variable for the segment. And by comparing the polygon, we can identify the patterns and trends in the data and draw conclusions about the difference between the segment in terms of their probability of the target variables. Similarly, we also computed some other statistics, like we computed the occurrence, reliability, and prescience for each type of set of variables, and we found the highly significant results. And we also computed the Gini index and drag index, which were more than 96.9 and 98.45%. In another important study we performed here by computing the tornado diagrams for each set of states. And there you can see that this diagram basically show the posterior probabilities for each variables in the networks, which are sorted with respect to their impact on the target variables. So this diagram basically represents the horizontal bars that divides into the segments, with each segment representing variables in the networks. Also, the length of the segment corresponds to the magnitude of the posterior probabilities of the variables, and segments are sorted by their importance or impact on the target variables. Also, this diagram basically help us to quickly identify the most significant variables in the networks with respect to the target variables. Also, the variables with larger positive impacts, they are reflected on the right side, and with negative impact, they are reflected on the left side, and intermediate, basically, they have some minor behavior. In conclusion, traditional methods such as utilizing only comparing different types of features and just train the networks and compute the classification. But in this study, we computed first GLCM based features, and then we ranked the features, and then we find the different types of relationships, associations among the features, computed the segment profile analysis, and we also computed the tornado graphs and also the associations with the energy variables, and ranked the energy features and computed its association with other set of features. So in summary, these techniques help us to further investigate the dynamics, associations, posterior probabilities, prior probabilities, likelihoods, prior means, posterior means, etc., to further unfold the relevant and relationships among the extracted features. The proposed approach will be very helpful for the improved diagnosis and prognosis of the brain tumor. Also, this technique will help to further unfold the nonlinear hidden dynamics present in the brain signals for the further underlying analysis, which can further improve the diagnosis and prognosis of the brain tumor subtypes. And these are the set of references which are utilized, and thank you very much.